How's it going, Revivalists? This is Simon here from CD Revival. Hope you're all well. And today I'm going to do the ranking as promised by one Brian Warner, also known as Marilyn Manson. Controversial figure. Obviously been in the news the last sort of year or so with allegations here and there. We're not going to, go into that. Obviously, this is going to be a ranking of music and ranking of his albums, not of his personal life. All I will say is, like, obviously, his allegations. There's been allegations before against other people. So I'm not going to, comment on that. Whether he's guilty, not guilty, or otherwise. Obviously, yeah, controversial figure. He's never really painted himself as a, a sort of a stand-up kind of guy. Like a, super nice family figure, like, I don't know, Bill Cosby or Michael Jackson. Anyway, onto the music basically. So yeah, 11 albums of he's changed his style a few times over the years, and with varying results. Used to really like his stuff back in the early days, and it's been a bit hit and miss sort of throughout, but they've all got some sort of merits. So yeah, starting off with number 11. My least favourite album of his, and this is his most recent album as well. It's from 2020, 11th album, We Are Chaos. This one is a collaboration with Shooter Jennings. Comes with like a poster as well. It's his own artwork on the front. Shooter Jennings, might as well have done it with Shooter McGavin. Probably would have been a better result. Anyway, not a great fan of this album, to be honest with you. When it first came out, I heard it and kind of didn't even get all the way through it. I had to put it aside, and then I've listened to it again a fair few times. Still my least favourite. Doesn't really, the style doesn't really sit well with me. Red, Black and Blue, the first track, is quite decent. We Are Chaos, the title track, I really don't like, to be honest with you, too much. Perfume's probably the best track on it. Keep My Head Together is not too bad either. I think that's quite good. But yeah, generally I think it's quite a disappointing album. Although when it came out, the reviews of it were great, and it was like, oh, what a fantastic album this is by Manson, which made me really look forward to it. And then that probably made it even more disappointing when I did hear it. So not his best album by a long stretch. Well, his worst, I think. Probably would score it like a, I don't know, 2.5 maybe out of 5. Maybe that's a little bit harsh. Maybe a 3. So yeah, We Are Chaos. That's my number 11 from 2020. My number 10, I have got the album Eat Me, Drink Me from 2007. This is his 6th album. Once again, had decent reviews when it came out. Different style once again. Produced by Manson and Tim Skold. Basically, it was pretty much the other, like, between the two of them, they did like the whole, I think Skold wrote pretty much all the album. I have got time for Tim Skold, to be fair. His work with Shotgun Messiah, big fan of. He did work with KMFDM as well, which I'm not overly familiar with, I'm not going to lie. But yeah, this one's pretty much a straight up rock album. There's not much of the sort of industrial, like, glam trappings that Manson had before. It's got a few good tracks on it. Red Carpet Grave is a really good one, I think. I think with Manson's albums you can't really read the titles too well. But yeah, there's a couple of decent ones on here. But yeah, that's You and Me and the Devil Makes 3. That's quite good as well. They said that Hell's Not Hot's alright. But yeah, Red Carpet Grave is the best track on here, I think. And yeah, it's a bit wishy-washy and doesn't really do a lot for me. Not fantastic. That's my number 10 from 2007, 6th album, Eat Me, Drink Me. Number 9, High End of Low, 7th album from 2009. Quite a depressing album, this one. A bit of a breakup album, but I think it's got some good tracks on it, some not so. It's a long album, 16 tracks, including the bonus track on here. It's probably about half and half. The good songs are really good. Devour is the opener, that's not bad. Pretty as a swastika, which is styled as pretty as a $sign. That's okay. Leave a Scar, I think, is a good song. Four Rusted Horses, I think, is a good song as well. That's a sort of brooding, yeah, decent track. You've got Armour Goddamn Motherfucking Geddon, which is standard, bit old school Manson. Pretty, I like it. It's stupid, but I like it. In the middle, it goes through things like Run to the Edge of the World, which I don't really like. It's a bit of a ballad. I Want to Kill You Like They Do in the Movies, which is about 9 minutes long, and that's not really that great, I don't think. And Wow as well, which is a sort of weird electro, yeah, doesn't really do it for me either. But then I've got White Spider, which I think is really heavy, really cool track. We're From America, which is another kind of goofy sort of old school Manson track, but it's pretty cool. And I Have to Look Up Just to See Hell, which is probably the best song title ever. That's a decent one as well. So it's a bit hit or miss, but generally speaking, yeah, it's it's lower down in the ranking, and I think most people would probably agree with that. But there are some really cool tracks on there, which is the same as my number 8, which a lot of people really love, and that is The Pale Emperor, which is his 9th album from 2015. This one, once again, is a bit hit or miss. This one is with Tyler Bates and Manson, pretty much. Gil Sharon on drums. This is like a deluxe kind of edition, so it's got all this like crackly white stuff on it, which does come off, sadly. But the cool thing about it is the disc is completely black. It's almost like a PlayStation 1 disc, if you're old enough to remember those. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, I think it's 50-50. Killing Strangers is quite a decent track. Deep Six is good. Third Day of a 7-Day Binge is good. The Mephistopheles of Los Angeles. So pretty front loaded, I think. Cupid Carries a Gun is alright. Birds of Hell Awaiting is okay. But I don't think it's his strongest album. People have called it like a blues Manson album, but it's so not even a blues Manson album. It's not even blues, even slightly, I don't think. But it's it's okay. It's not his best. People were saying it was a real return to form, and say it's his best album since whenever. But I think there are ones in his latter period which I do prefer. So for me, Pale Emperor sits at number 8, and this is 9th one from 2015. Number 7, I have got his first album, Portrait of an American Family, from 1994. Yes, some cool stuff on here, produced by Manson and Trent Reznor, of 9 Inch Nails. Big fan of Trent Reznor's work, to be honest with you. I'll be doing a 9 Inch Nails discography ranking in the very near future, so we will be getting onto the end. This has got the original lineup of Daisy Berkovich on guitar, Gidget Gein on bass, Madonna Wayne Gacy on keyboards, and Sarah Lee Lucas on drums. So yeah, it's the original Manson, was the Spooky Kids. But yeah, cool tracks on here. Cake and Sodomy is excellent. Lunchbox is great. Dope Hat's pretty cool. Get Your Gun, probably my favourite on here. Lots of samples, lots of industrial style sounds. Yeah, just a decent album to start with for them, and do enjoy it. Although it goes on a little bit too long, it's a little bit samey all the way through, but still pretty cool. So that's my number 7, Portrait of an American Family from 1994. Number 6, I've got Heaven Upside Down, which is his 10th album from 2017. People liked it when it first came out, and now they're saying, oh no, it's not very good. I do like it. I think it's a bit more old school Manson. Tyler Bates again, Gil Sharon doing the production, obviously produced by Tyler Bates and Manson. Yeah, some good stuff on here. Revelation number 12 does take me back to sort of Antichrist Superstar sort of days. It's similar sort of style. Tattooed in Reverse is a cool track. We Know Where You Fucking Live, that's a good industrial style track. Say 10 is all chorus and, you know, not too much else, but, you know, kind of cool. Kill for Me is a catchy track. Saturnalia, probably one of the best tracks on here. That's really cool. Long one as well. A couple of dodgy ones. Jesus Christ, this is not great. Blood Honey, I'm not overly impressed with. Title track's not bad at all. But yeah, I quite enjoy that one. Heaven Upside Down, that's my number 6 from 2017. Bit of a dodgy cover, but you know, whatever. Number 5 now. So we're into the top 5, and these are all, you know, pretty much these, you know, my favorite, obviously my favorites. Golden Age of Grotesque from 2003 is my number 5. Produced by Manson and Tim Scold. You've got the slipcase with this one. This is the one with the bonus DVD with the exclusive film. Doppelhertz or whatever it's called. Yeah, it's called literally Doppelhertz. There's the inside. These cases are never ideal. But yeah, this one is quite catchy, quite poppy in a way. With some good stuff on it. Mob Scene's good. This is the new shit. It's pretty decent. Saint is a really cool one with a, you know, exceptionally dodgy video. Things like Dol Dagger Buzz Ziggity Zag is actually quite an up-tempo banger. Kaboom, that's okay as well. It's got a good, you know, yeah, it's got a good riff on it, man. It's a decent song. Probably the last of his sort of golden period, if you like. Yeah, John 5 on guitars, Tim Scold on bass, Gacy on keyboards, Ginger Fish on drums. So some of the classic lineup. But yeah, not bad at all. He was sort of knocking off Dieter Fonteese when this was out, hence the sort of burlesque kind of feel behind it. Not a bad album, but yeah, not his very best. Number 4 I have got, which divides opinion, Born Villain, which is his 8th album from 2022, produced by Manson and Chris Vrenna. Twiggy Ramirez on back on bass on this, and he does keyboards as well, and guitar I think as well. Yeah, they all do a bit of everything. Fred Sabian's on here, we're doing guitars and bass as well, and you've got Chris Vrenna on drums and keyboards, and he also co-produced it. But yeah, I think this is his best of his latter era albums, hence it being at my number 4. It's got some really cool stuff on here. Hey Cruel World's a good opener. No Reflection, I think it's a really cool track. Pistol Whipped is a good track as well. Slow Motion, that's got a really good groove to it, that's cool. The Gardener, that's a really good track. Flowers of Evil, that's a really good track. So yeah, it's got some pretty cool stuff on here. Murderers Are Getting Prettier Every Day, that's a real up-tempo, like real banger. And the sort of title track Born Villain, that's really cool as well. This one doesn't have the You're So Vain bonus track on it, but there's no major misstep on that one. That's got Johnny Depp on guitar. He's obviously good buddies with Marilyn Manson and shares, you know, accusation duties with him, but we won't mention that. But yeah, a good album. My number 4, so not a lot of people would probably agree with that, but there we go, it is my number 4. Number 3 I have got Holy Wood, which is, I think, a really class album. Once again, we've got the slipcase with that. This was his 4th album from 2000. There's a lot of stuff on here. Dave Salm and Manson produced. This has obviously got Twiggy, John 5, Gacy and Ginger Fish on drums. Yeah, a lot of songs on here. It started to go in a little bit of a more commercial direction with things like the fight song, Disposable Teens, which is pretty much a rerun of Beautiful People, I think. Love Song's a good song. What else have we got on here? That's decent. There's a lot of good stuff. Valentine's Day is probably the pick of the album. I think that's really good. Death Song is like excellent as well. Obviously you've got the Nobodies, which is a famous one. Coma Black's decent as well. Count to Six and Die is really cool. yeah, long album, quite dark in a way, but also quite accessible in other ways as well. So, as I say, there's a lot of stuff on here. There's a good mixture of accessible and darker, sort of stranger tracks as well. But cool album. At one time, it might have been my number one, but listening back and sort of going through them, I think number three is a good place for it to sit. My number two, I have got Mechanical Animals, which is his third album from 1998. This one's got the original blue slip, well, it's got the slipcase and the blue cover. Very sort of glam, up-tempo album. A lot of really cool songs on here. Yeah, good, excellent production. You know, Manson looking suitably alien and weird, obviously. But yeah, Great Big White World is an excellent opener. That's a really cool track. You've got things like Disassociative, which is really cool. The title track, I think it's a brilliant track. Coma White, probably the pick of the album. I think that's an amazing track. What else is on here? Don't Like the Drugs, but the Drugs Like Me. Rock is Dead. So quite poppy in a way, user friendly. That's probably one of my least favourites on here. I Want to Disappear. Dope Show. New Model Number 15. That's really cool as well. Yeah, just a strong album pretty much all the way through. Very listenable. So the production on it's excellent. Very different to the album previously. And Michael Beenhorn and Sean Bevan produced it along with Manson. Zim Zama joined for guitars because I think what's his name, the other guy, the original guitarist anyway, fell out with Reznor. So I think Reznor smashed his guitar up around the time of Antichrist Superstar. So yeah, a good album. Say glammy, different sort of sound, but yeah, still very enjoyable to this day. That's Mechanical Animals from 1998. So my number one, Antichrist Superstar, amazing album, second album from 1996. Once again comes with a slipcase, so that's the cover underneath. A lot of weird imagery going on with this one. And yeah, a lot of cool songs. Once again, quite a few tracks on here. Irresponsible Hate Anthem to start off with, which is a bit of a classic, but not my favourite on there. Beautiful People, once again, classic. Dried Up, Tied and Dead to the World, brilliant track. Tourniquet, decent single. And then you go to the middle part, which is sort of a stranger, like things like Little Horn, Crypt Orchid, Worm Boy. Then it kicks back in with Mr. Superstar, which is a really cool track. Angel with the Scabbed Wings, that's really heavy. Kinderfeld. Antichrist Superstar, the title track, which is probably my favourite song on here, probably one of my favourite Manson tracks of all time. Minute of Decay, Reflecting God's an amazing track. Man That You Fear, good track to finish off. So yeah, super dark. Produced by Manson, Sean Bevan, Dave Ogilvy and Trent Reznor to a degree. Definitely for me is most iconic album and best album. It's just a real dark trip all the way through. If you listen to it on the headphones, there's plenty going on to listen to as well, so it sounds really good. You can see, yeah, the work that went into it and the, you know, fucked up shit that they were doing at the time when they recorded it. So yeah, as far as Manson goes, this is as good as it gets, I think. I don't think he'll ever do anything better. I'm pretty sure that is going to be the case. So that's Antichrist Superstar, my number one from 1996. A couple of other bits of his. The Remix and Repent EP, which is stuff from Antichrist Superstar. So basically the singles just remixed. So you've got like The Horrible People, remix of Tourniquet, live version of Dried Up, Tied and Dead to the World, live version of Antichrist Superstar, and an acoustic version of Man That You Fear. So that's pretty cool. I've got the CD2 single from Tourniquet, and that's cool. That's got basically just Tourniquet. It's got a lunchbox on there as well, and a remix on there as well. So that's pretty cool. I've got the remix album, which is basically remixed the first album, Smells Like Children, which is pretty messed up, to be honest with you. It's got, you say, various remixes of stuff on the first album. It's got the cover of Sweet Dreams Are Made of This as well on here, another Patti Smith cover as well, and sort of some just messed up interludes as well. Yeah, quite disturbing listening to this one. Reznor once again involved with this, but yeah, decent, well worth having. And last of all, I've got the best of, which is the Lest We Forget. Basically picked this one up. This is the double version. It's got that picture in there, which Manson apparently wanted as the cover of Hollywood, but the record company wouldn't allow it. This one comes, I got this basically because it comes with a DVD, which is basically all his promo videos up until that point. So it's got the uncensored version of Saint on there as well. And yeah, that makes it worthwhile basically. So yeah, if you can get the version with the DVD, I think it's got a couple of tracks that weren't on albums as well. Personal Jesus, I think. Tainted Love, which I think is on a bonus track on Golden Age of Grotesque. And it's also got Long Hard Road Out of Hell, which I think was from the Spawn soundtrack as well. So that's a kind of cool track. So that one there, that's the best of. So that's pretty cool too. So yeah, that's it. That's my very uncontroversial Marilyn Manson ranking. Let me know if you like him, if you still like him, and what you think of his most recent stuff and what your favourite albums is. Leave any comments in the comments below. Thanks very much for watching. If you like my videos, please subscribe. My next video will be either more CD collection in the M's or the Motorhead top 10, and showing basically my Motorhead collection. I was saying I'm going to top 10 that one. I'm not going to do the ranking of all 20 odd albums because yeah, I'm just lazy really. Anyway, cool. Thanks very much for watching once again. Hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you all next time. Cheers. Take it steady.